hello.
Greetings.
I checked. We're all live. We're all good.
Am I muted?
No, you're not. I looked
I'm not muted,
beforehand,
chat.
but I still had to glance down just to make sure everything. I'm clipping again. Okay,
Chat, what
I'm
are
never.
the volumes like?
Yeah, how I'm probably a bit louder than Lucy at the moment.
And is Sam dropping frames?
OBS
No,
says I am dropping
is it?
frames.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
But yes, hello everybody, and thank you very much for the resub, Parola. Months and buttons and things. 22
good
months.
grief. I've got you
That's
up
almost
so
a year.
loud. Why is that?
Ooh.
Already.
Sounds good so far? Huzzah!
Okay. Maybe
reserved.
slightly loud, but not outrageously.
You're not outrageous.
Yeah, no,
Well.
not today.
You've been watching Horror Show in the Dark. Nice.
Oh, I think I saw you mention that show.
What Horror Show is.
I forgot what it's called, but yeah, you mentioned that on the John's Court the other day, and I looked it up. It looked interesting.
Whoa.
From, that was it. I knew it was just like a one word. Yeah.
Great.
Mm.
Good name.
Mm.
Difficult to recommend.
Yeah.
People get confused.
Have you seen From? From what? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yes, how is everybody in chat? I hope we are all well.
I'm feeling unwell, but we're going to push on with the stream and see how we go.
We might have to, stop stream early if Sam feels awful.
I'm not expecting this to be a long one. Let's put it that way. Also, I have Joey on my lap because he is
Joey.
so annoying today. He's just been too much, and it's tiring. But yes, hello.
Yeah, sounds like the cat.
Yeah, that is. Wow, everyone is going live. Good grief! Sorry, my Discord is like lighting up with
really?
@notifications.
Just went live.
Yeah, and Patrick Richards and Ari at home. That the stream the other day.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone's just going. Yeah. Okay.
Freestyling. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to help.
I don't.
Apparently.
No, he knows I don't feel well, and he senses weakness.
Yes.
Also, did we thank Parola for the sub? And also,
I did thank Parola, and Diana has just.
That's what prompted me.
Resubbed.
Nerds?
Hello?
No, wait, don't read that one. That acknowledges that we're nerds.
Oh, I shall. Hi, nerd! Right back at Diana.
Wow.
Yeah, get nerded.
No.
But hello, thank you very much for the resub. Lovely to see you.
Indeed.
Apparently you're not allowed to talk about your son that way when he's there to hear you.
He doesn't understand the language, it's fine.
Or care.
No.
Even if he did, he probably wouldn't care.
No.
He'd just be like, deal with it. But yeah, cats speak all languages. They do.
And none at the same time.
Yes. Did we do a Chilliteratea stream last month? I don't think we did.
No, because the last one was titled like New Year, New Title, something like that. It was like from a while back. So apologies.
Yeah. Yes.
I think
I mean, we would have done some in February, but I was
happened.
Busy and yeah, car crashed.
Yeah.
Woo.
Literally.
Yeah. I'm very upset, by the way, because it's been dusty, and I have just cleaned my new car, and it is now dusty. So I'm unhappy about that. And now Dave's gone live.
No, that's us on Dave. That's
us on Dave.
Yeah,
nice.
That's what I thought one of these was, and so I was like, wait, why is it? No, oh, okay.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
Nice. What's the new car's name? Stanley. Because it is grey and businesslike, and I thought that was appropriate. It also, as I discovered today, I can actually fit in the boot. Which I couldn't do in my previous car. Actually, I probably could have done in my previous car.
Yeah.
But I can properly fit in the boot with like space to spare. I'm very happy about the boot space. It's great. February is the long dark Thursday of the soul. It is indeed. Yeah. February is your birthday month, Dharma. Nice. Good information to have. Yeah, exactly. If I need to kidnap anyone, I know I can fit them in the boot. Probably can't fit a Sam in the boot, though. That might be difficult. Unless I fold them up really small. It's amazingly useless info. Shut up! It's very useful info. I am about the size of 2 trumpet cases. Actually, I'm probably about the size of 1.5 trumpet cases. Well, yours is called Keir Starmer. Very good. Because it's a bit rubbish. Fair enough. Can confirm Lucy is tiny. Oi! I'm not that. Oi! All of you, stop it! I'm not that tiny. Diddy boot. Shut. No. Right. You can insult my height, but you can't insult my car's boot space. Shut up. I will take mighty and tiny. Can kidnap one Lucy's or half a Sam size. I'm not half a. Actually, I probably am about half your height. Thinking about it.
Me?
Yeah.
That's
like I come up to your chest.
That's not
half.
That's not how numbers work. You are not 3 foot high.
Oh yeah. I'm not very good at maths, chat. People are not a length. In volume, yes, possibly in volume. I always thought I had tall energy. Why do people say that to me? I don't. I have short, angry person energy. Maybe not angry person. Short, loud person. It's a comical height difference. Thanks. It is. Oh, I have tall energy. There you go. I have an authoritative voice. This is interesting, chat. This is very interesting to me.
As a tall, that's not tall energy. That is short energy.
Make up for the height with loudness.
Yeah, like
pissed off gerbil, how dare you?
She says.
Look, I do not have a gerbil voice. My voice is far too low for a gerbil. Brass players in your experience all have tall energy. Oh, you never met my previous trumpet teacher. He had a short, angry man energy in every single way.
Let's go to a break.
It's all right. I won't get into that. Chinchilla. No, can you stop?
Just naming creatures.
Just naming. Gerbils are amazing. I once had dwarf hamsters that people just gave me without telling me they were going to give them to me. And I was very pissed off about this because turns out don't give people pets that they're not prepared for.
Oh.
Because that's not fair on the animals.
Yeah.
And they gave me 2 male dwarf hamsters that ended up killing each other.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hamsters are noisy at night.
Yeah.
When you're trying to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
wasn't very happy about that. Yeah. Hamsters are metal. No,
Yeah.
they're definitely not metal. They're definitely, soft and squidgy.
Metal can be soft and squidgy. Have you seen lead?
Mercury.
Or mercury?
Oh. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, dwarf hamsters are noisy.
Yeah.
But yes. What have you been reading? We should probably do that. Spoonable animals.
What have I been...
When you say spoonable, you mean literally, like you can put them in a spoon, don't you?
What have I been reading? Mainly not actually anything for myself, just stuff for stream. And my books are elsewhere around the room, like behind me in places. Yeah. But Joey's on me at the moment, so I can't get up. But when he moves...
Is it a when or is it an if?
He'll move.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a threat, chat.
Yes, it is. When he moves, I'll get up and stretch my legs and acquire some books.
I acquired a book because the second-hand bookshop near me is a very dangerous place, and I should not go there because I always come back with at least one book. But look at this beauty! Look at it! Isn't it lovely? It's so pretty.
You could kill a man with that and then hide him in the boot of your car.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft. It smells nice too. Not in Minecraft, in real life. Yeah, that's really nice. But yeah, it's got like loads of stories from around the world, and you can tell that it is dated because it's got a section that Oriental short stories. It's like, Yes. Oh wow, there is. Sorry, the American and British section, and the Scotland section. Oh, there's a Catherine Mansfield. There's a New Zealand section. American and the British. Okay, I mean it's not British, but okay. Scotland. Morley Jameson, The Old Wife. Not sure I want to read that one, but wait, there's more. Oh, interesting. So I think this is I think these people are American.
Oh.
Because there's more American here.
What?
Than English. How dare they? How dare they?
Didn't even invent the language.
Yeah. Sherwood Anderson. That's a good name. F. Scott Fitzgerald. The Baby Party. That's called the Conservatives, surely.
Heyo.
Heyo.
Who's the publisher, says Andy Pants?
Who is the publisher? Don't actually know. I can give you the ISBN of it if you want to look that up, but I don't know. Ah, Avenel Books, New York. So yes.
That would check out.
Yep. Avenel Books. Huh. But yeah, I do like a good old collection of short stories.
Nice.
So I needed more of them. I bought something else as well, didn't I? Oh yeah, I also bought the Penguin Book of Irish Short Stories.
Oh right.
Yeah, I thought I bought 2 books, which I can't be bothered to go and get because it's over there. But the current book I am reading is this, which I know Arian now has, because I'm a good influence. And anybody who likes language, which is most people here, read this.
Oh, stream I just looked and saw it was, what is going on? Why is
Twitch having a moment?
I don't know that it's Twitch. I feel like it's my internet just being absolute
stream buffering
garbage. Yeah, no, sorry folks, that seems to be here. I noticed from the start we were dropping frames. Shouldn't be, because generally internet's pretty good.
I mean, you're fine on the call to me.
Yeah.
Drop for a sec, but it's back now? Okay. Hopefully it'll stay that way.
I wonder if...
But yes, I have read Stephen Mithen's previous work, The Singing Neanderthals, which also, if anybody's interested in, the origins of music, read that book. It's bloody brilliant. As I read that as part of my research project on the origins of music. And this came out recently, and I was waiting for it to come out in paperback. And yeah, it is fantastic. Very, very interesting. Is he going in the cube?
Yes.
Oh.
At some point he's going to go, meow.
Meow. Yeah. But,
okay.
I don't know if anybody's going to see this in chat, because I don't know if my camera will pick it up.
It's sort of coming through.
But yeah, that here, this is a language tree thing, and my linguists in chat might find this hilarious. I certainly did, because we've got all of these common roots, and then we go into like the big branches of languages. Over here is Finnish and Hungarian.
Oh yeah. While you talk about that,
I don't know what they're doing. Sure. I don't know what they're doing, but they're just chilling. It's like, they're not even like near the modern languages up here. They're just like down here. Like what? It's so interesting. So they're like four rungs up the ladder. They're Uralic, which Sam only, Ural Mountains, there we go. Yeah, Sam was just like, oh, Ural Mountains, that makes sense. I was like, oh yeah, that's why it's Uralic. I was saying you said Ural Mountains.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very smart.
Yeah, well, you're smarter than me.
Well, not universally.
Well, with geography, you definitely are. So yeah, there's just Finnish and Hungarian over there. Finland isn't real. I've been there, it's not. So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. But yeah, this is a fascinating book. So would a fan fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, would definitely recommend to anybody who is interested in language. We're talking about language.
Look around you.
Yes.
What are
You're
words?
very curious. Yes, exactly.
We just don't know.
Handy Pants takes notes. Yes, I think you in particular would like it.
I have now acquired my books.
Oh yeah, what you got?
Oh,
Cracking
it out of its
important
cardboard protective.
Oh, it's so pretty.
This.
Yeah,
which I think I showed off on stream with Dave the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
The book.
The book.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Because what happens if you hang out in the Chilliteratea Discord, people find extremely fancy, expensive copies of your favourite story. Look at that illustration.
It was a reference, probably. Yeah, that is stunning.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty. Yeah. Just a little willow. Nothing weird about that.
Just a willow. Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice.
Mm-hmm. Trying to find some other...
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice little willows that would never do harm to anything. Oh, it's buffering again. Great.
Why? I don't...
I mean, so chat, the stream might actually finish just because we don't have any, like, we have tech troubles and the stream hates us.
Well, I think...
No buffer for you, Llama? Oh, okay.
Maybe I think I've seen Stephen saying, because like, Twitch has started seemingly getting a lot more strict about bitrate. And like, and with like a hard cap of 6K, which which seems way lower, but I don't know if like compression has changed or improved. Yeah, not quite the full 4 bars. Yep, there it goes. And I think I've seen Stephen saying that like, if you go over 6,000, Twitch starts getting really arsey at you and being like, yeah, it's kind of ruining your stream quality. And I've set it to 6,000. It is over, and I don't know why it's over, because I literally checking. Yeah, bitrate 6,000 kbps. It shouldn't be over 6. It is, and I wonder if that's what's causing problems. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it is also possible Twitch is just having one this evening, because that can also happen. It's been known.
It has been known.
But yeah.
What?
What?
Stiggis, are you Finnish?
That yes, I think
Finnish?
yes. No, I reckon I remember Stiggis from when I was streaming Alan Wake. Yes, Stiggis is Finnish.
My question to Finnish, just the language. Why? It is a silly language. Pretty. I particularly like the fact that you have 2 A's with umlauts next to each other. That just seems overkill. It's like, why do you need to double all of your letters? I don't understand. This is not a game of Scrabble. Actually, that's a point. Do Finns have Scrabble? If so, how big are the Scrabble boards? Because they must be bloody enormous. What's the Finnish word for dragon?
Dragon D. Anyway.
Child.
I'm streaming with Dave too much. I know. Any opportunity comes up. Like,
Dreadful. But look here, me. I don't know, because there are 2 A's with umlauts, and my brain goes but that's probably not the right sound because it's Finnish. But I did enjoy Finland for the 3 days I was there. Helsinki's a fun place. Finns are cool. It was -12. Would go again. And it's a great language to listen to. I have no idea what anyone's saying. It's because one of those. It is silly. You don't know if Scrabble exists. Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Also,
It's like you're. Ooh.
I think I've shown this one off before.
Yeah, the green and the purple's very nice.
Yeah.
They call it Finnish because attempting to learn it finishes you. Yeah, that's true.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's just interesting because you're there and you feel like there are a couple of things that you're like, oh, I feel like that almost sounds like, you know, another language, a Scandinavian language or something, and then it just goes, whoop! It's like, oh, no, not at all. They seem to think anise is a great flavour. A nephew. No, you're not a fan of anise?
Not a big fan of aniseed, no.
I quite like it.
Also, yeah,
not too much of it.
The Finn speaker favourite language, Rally English. I'm assuming by that you just mean like the high volume of Finnish racing and rally drivers.
Oh, because they're all completely insane.
Well, that's I mean, not to
Sorry,
not to stereotype the Finns in chat. Maybe you can confirm or not, but yeah, someone
in a good way.
Yeah. Is it English specifically spoken by rally drivers?
Oh, right.
Yeah, I thought there might be more to it, but I'm trying to think how many interviews with Finnish rally drivers I have seen. But like my background used to be like what I used to watch quite a lot of F1. And yeah, the sort of the contrast between and specifically in F1 is like where my experience comes from. Like Finnish racing drivers who in interviews are very just like quiet, reserved, polite, very formal, not particularly talkative. Put them behind the wheel of a car and they are completely unhinged. Not in like an especially dangerous way, but just very fast in scary ways.
Just don't really care about dying.
And in a way that like you see, you know, and like the typical example being someone like Kimi Räikkönen, who say in an interview just very very quiet, very very polite, very straightforward, just, you know, man of few words, and all of them spoken very softly behind the wheel of a car. Don't get in his way or near his way,
or in a car with him.
Yeah. Well, no, you'll be fine. No crashes. Doesn't crash. Just please slow down. Yeah. And it did seem to be like of a type, but yeah.
Norse people are just slightly insane. Yeah, I mean that
exactly. Good for them.
Yeah. I mean, technically, we are a little bit Norse in the UK.
No. Yeah.
Well, the further north you go.
Yeah. I feel like there's a joke there, and someone sharper than me can make it.
Yeah, there probably is, and I can't think of anything. Can confirm insanity. There we go. Yeah.
It's the long dark winters and the long bright summers.
I'm going to Tallinn and Riga. In the autumn, which will be interesting. Because Tallinn is just literally just across the Baltic Sea, I think, from Helsinki. Well, I'm from Finland.
Yeah, we did.
I'm pretty sure they're basically just like this, like Helsinki's here and Tallinn's here. Because I looked on a map and was like, oh, Finland's just there.
Nice.
Yeah. But I did enjoy the flight back over Finland because it was all very slowy. Slowy? Snowy.
Nice.
You want to go to Tallinn so bad it looks beautiful? I have not looked it up at all, so I probably should. Should, you know, because I'm there for a while, I think. Riga is so pretty, also good. Hooray! Okay. I know that I can say random names of cities that I'm going to, and everybody in chat's going to be like, oh yeah, this is nice, or this is not, or recommend this, that, the other. Spelling rules of Finnish are very straightforward, just very different from English. I mean, the spelling rules for English are an absolute nightmare. Our spelling's a mess.
We have a lot of, like, it's like this, okay, every time? No. In fact, just by asking me that, we've broken another bunch of rules. Sorry. Okay, so what you asked should have been pronounced this way, and in fact is, that's.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, sorry everybody for the joke of a language that we've inflicted upon you.
To be fair, it's an amalgamation, as we've discussed many times before. It's just a mess of other languages, and we go, "This is ours," and everybody else is like, "Well, actually, no, it's kind of everybody's."
Yeah.
Which, in a way, it's quite nice when you think about it. That English is like one of the most commonly spoken languages in the world because it has so many influences from different languages.
True.
Except,
you may want to ask the rest of the world how they feel about that, but you know.
Yeah. Well, no. It's just like I guess of all. I don't know. Colonialism. Yeah, that doesn't help.
Well, yeah.
And then that like there's the sort of various Asian languages.
Yeah.
And Indian languages that are just like, nah. We're gonna do our own thing, please and thank you.
And we're over here going, we can't understand that, and I'm like, yeah.
What's the point?
You're gonna learn? No.
Yeah.
No. Could you speak ours? No.
No. Well, no, or yes, and better than you can.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
We are shamed.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah.
It's like I've been doing a load of clearing out of like drawers of things, and coming across like old school reports and things like that. I did German up to A level, and one of them is something along the lines of like, because I was so busy, and Arian, that actually like causes me, I have to respond to that as 3 items or fewer. That has been drilled into me. Yeah, no, I was looking, and because I was so busy with like music stuff, I was just like, Lucy really should have like try and spend a little bit more time learning German vocabulary. And I'm just like, oh, that's ironic, because working in Germany a lot. I was like, damn, he had a point. But
nice.
Yeah, quite entertaining. There's an OSP video for that. What about English being spoken everywhere? Finnish writing rules are very young in comparison. Oh, is that what? Is that because Finnish is largely a kind of like an oral tradition word? A word? Language. Wow.
Careful there, you might have just insulted someone.
Is it you and me or you and I? Eh?
I said careful there, you might have just insulted.
Yes.
Or said someone's name, I don't know.
Yeah. Do you have lessons at school where the teacher reads text and you have to write what they say? I don't think we ever had that.
No. I think in French, I'm trying to think how French went. We'd have like, we're gonna play a tape and you have to, and it's people speaking French, and mainly what I remember from those is the voices of the people they got to voice these tapes, because it would just, you would have some incredibly high-pitched French child who would be like, bonjour Pascal, bonjour, je m'appelle Jean-Paul. Ma maman est dans la cuisine.
Sounds like that.
No, but they do on the tapes.
Yeah.
Maman est dans la cuisine. Ma père est dans la salle à manger. Je vais au boulangerie. Like, and that's how.
It's sounding older and older as it goes.
Yeah, and tapes, what cassettes? Those cool retro things that everyone now buys. Yeah, we used to actually listen to those.
It's very funny to me that that's come around, because cassettes are not good for like the actual listening quality.
No,
and they break.
They're bad and they break all the time.
Yeah.
That's good French.
Apparently that was good French. Hey.
Yeah, I did retain something from my.
Why is your voice still high?
What?
Your voice was still high.
Yeah, merci beaucoup.
You should get back to French. I need to get to German. I need to actually
I should get back to French, because anytime I try and do it with confidence, I get completely the wrong words. And it goes bad. So yeah.
Because you've got a fairly decent linguistic brain, I reckon.
I
mean, you're good with words, and usually when people are good with words, they're good with words from other languages. Arian doesn't want to go back to French. Fair. It's alright, you've got a silly language too, so we'll have to say that. When he pronounced merci beaucoup, we also thank you, nice ass. Nice. Like that. Is that because they pronounce the P of beaucoup?
So for some reason, I was thinking, like, so there's that just made me think of the who wants a little bit of art history, Dadaist art
Yes,
history,
me.
the Marcel Duchamp, he of the Fountain. What?
Sorry, I'm trying to.
He so I think it was he like graffitied over a copy of the Mona Lisa, and and its title is LHHOOQ, I think, because it's
LHHOOQ.
This is where I need to remember my French alphabet. It's like LHOOQ or something, which basically means she has a hot ass.
Nice.
And I'm waiting for the
incredible.
francophones in chat to confirm and correct that.
Llama,
help us out. I'm pretty sure
that's kind of
I remembered learning about that. I might have been at university because I did an arts degree 20 years ago. When I barely literally it was BA.
No, I know. I was joking.
Okay, you got me. I was like, how have I never said? You must know.
Yeah, that was the joke. I am aware you did an arts degree. That's why we're together.
Yeah.
We've both got useful creative brains. Woohoo!
Oh, LHOQ. Okay.
Little ass on fire. Nice.
Oh yeah, LHOQ. Yeah.
Your sophomore roommate is obsessed with Marcel Duchamp. Nice. Yeah. Marcel Duchamp is to art what John Cage was to music. Discuss. No, he was. I think you can thingy parallels.
I mean, I would have studied about them at the same time because at uni we did Dadaism and I remember doing Dadaism and Cage, both as examples of like
Cage is this whole genre.
Well, as in like here is it would have been like here is an art movement, and here is people doing weird things with music and calling it music and pushing the boundaries and redefining. I mean,
yeah. Is Duchamp Dada or Dadaism, or is it avant-garde?
I'm pretty sure it was Dadaism.
Or is one a big banner could be wrong. Under others?
I'm not actually sure. Oh no, no. I've always thought Dadaism, but I might be wrong.
I honestly don't know.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
music's equivalent is just avant-garde.
Where I would, I guess, discuss would be and a discussion more from the point of ignorance on my part in terms of, I guess I'm more familiar with broadly like what the goals and point. Ironically, the lack of goals and point of Dadaism was in terms of like dismantling the rules and perceptions around art. Neo-Dadaism, great, good, okay,
right.
Versus knowing less about Cage's
Neo-Dadism. Sorry. I love that. Sorry, do carry on.
No, it's fine. It's very funny. Knowing less about Cage's again, talking about Dadaism as these were the goals of something that specifically was trying to dismantle rules and purpose and stuff. How Cage kind of lines up against that, like where he comes in terms of the movement, and what like genuinely not knowing myself, was he essentially trying to achieve the same ends for music of dismantle the rules, and anything can be music if you treat it as such, like anything can be art if you sign your name on it. Isn't this absurd?
Yeah.
I'm
not sure. I don't know how much he was kind of focusing on the absurdity of it. I think it was more just like, it was more anything can be music, and also everything is music. It was it's not maybe not everything. Anything can be music, and everything is music.
Yeah.
Hang on, I don't know where I was going. Which one I ended up settling on. Everything is music. There we go.
Everything is sound when it's played in a room.
Yeah. Heard in a room, maybe.
Heard it, yeah.
But
exactly, Lama. Exactly.
Oh yeah. What's the point? That's the fact that you asked a question. Point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Cage was a bit more structured.
Yeah.
Like, he was obsessed with... I think he was obsessed with numbers. I mean, to be fair, a lot of composers have been obsessed with numbers. If a tree falls in a forest and it's in a room, is it music? Some of you should go listen to Alvin Lucia's I Am Sitting in a Room. You should listen to that, actually. I don't know if I've ever... You know of it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember if we discussed this before, but yeah, I assume you probably know of it when you did an arts degree.
That's, yes. Literally, we would, yes, we learned about,
yeah. Yeah. Because Alvin Lucius, I Am Sitting in a Room is great.
Yeah.
And again, kind of, well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily dismantling music. That's the thing, is like, I don't think... Yeah, I think so many kind of critics of both the kind of art movement and also the music movement that, labeled as whatever, Dadaism, avant-garde, neo-Dadaism, etc. Like, the whole kind of, we are destroying a thing. It's like, I don't think, like, dismantling a thing, I don't think actually that's the best way to approach it, because you're not dismantling anything, because everything previously still exists.
I think
all the rules and regulations, but all the rules still exist. You are just going...
It's not... Yeah, I mean,
outside.
I guess it, like...
Kind of stepping outside.
The whole thing is about meaning. And funnily enough, annoyingly, I wish I'd read now. There's he writes about games a lot, generally under the name of Doc. If you follow me on Blue Sky, you'll see me retweeting his articles and stuff. Oh, we disconnected. Okay, good. Yeah, I think Twitch might just be having one this evening. And he has written a piece that I started looking at today, which is about it's about broadly the subject of violence in games, but starts off talking about the classic, the age-old, are video games art? And essentially the answer being they can be. Video games are a medium, and it's like saying, are books art? They can be. A phone book isn't necessarily art. A phone book can be given artistic meaning, but by itself it is not necessarily an artistic expression. And video games are, primarily designed to be entertaining and to sell a product, but some video games can be the product of artistic intent and design. It's a more complicated than just a yes/no, but they can have the potential to be art, and so can books, and so can sound. Sound can be music, and music can be artistic, but it can also not be. But then that's where you start getting into artistic meaning, and the squeak of a rusty door can just be an annoying sound. That's the squeak of a rusty door, but you can also
sample that.
You can sample that, or you can include it on a score. You can, you can say, okay, for the next 4 minutes and 33 seconds, the sound that exists in this room is the music. There's nothing written on the score, but the sound that is present that you hear, and that could be someone opening a door, it could be someone coughing or opening sweets or sitting down loudly or nudging their friend or whispering. That's the music that's present in the room. And that's where it's like the sort of, I guess those artistic movements that we're discussing are not okay. But yeah, we've got a good topic. Great. Those movements, they're not destroying art. They're giving a new artistic meaning, and they're more about like destroying the boundaries and or like examining and testing and pushing and destroying the boundaries and reshaping those to be like, like just come up with a lecture off the top of your head.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
To a bunch of people that already know this stuff, because we all talk about it all the time. But yeah, it's okay. That's just 4 minutes 33. It's So we have this score that defines the music that is going to be played in the room. Okay, what if the score says nothing? There's still sound in the room. It's not a completely soundless room. There is still sound in there. And so that then gives a new intent, and it is asking the question of what is music. Okay, well, it has to be created with some kind of intent or purpose. Well, we've defined probably the broadest set of rules by which that is not specific notes played at specific times. There are none. But that's still instructions, that's still rules for this stuff. And so it's like, okay, well, you've not destroyed the music, you've destroyed the framework by which the music has been created and put like a new banner on it. Or you're Duchamp and you've ripped a urinal off the wall and gone, okay, well, this is just a dirty, filthy thing that people piss in. But now I've signed my name on it. Is it art? And we're going to stick it in a gallery and display it.
Didn't he get it off a factory line or something?
Oh, he might have done. I don't know.
I don't think it was in use. I think it might have just been a factory.
It's probably been used since.
I imagine it probably has.
Yeah. That would make more sense and frankly be more hygienic. But yeah, it's like, we've taken this thing. It's found art. I've just signed my name on it and called it art. How do you feel about that art world? Are you going to gather around it and go, yeah, it's very smart, very intelligent. You've created art, or are you going to actually evaluate the rules by which you define art and what you classify as important? And if we literally you center yourselves around this prestigious world that you've built of this exclusive club of people who only the special best people who can put things in a gallery and be special and important for doing that. And only the best painters can paint and only the best artists can sculpt, well, screw that. I'm just going to sign my name on a urinal and put it up. Or we're going to just cut up some words and rearrange them and call it poetry. I'm a poet now. And it's about, redefining and breaking, testing, challenging those rules. And that's where it's interesting.
Yeah. I think all art should ask a question.
Yeah.
Of the people interacting with it.
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing is like I had a big old argument with my brother about I'm just like, why did this come into my head? Because I recently sang a piece by Morton Feldman called Rothko Chapel, which is a great piece of music and it's really effing difficult to sing. The pitching is all over the shop, and you have to sing it on a closed the entire time. You're basically humming for the whole thing. Well, an open and the soprano solo in it is nice. And the soprano solo turns out is really difficult. But even though it's 3 notes over and over again, but there's a viola trying to distract you the entire time by playing completely different ones. Anyway, got talking about like Rothko. And the whole like well, anybody can paint a canvas one color.
Yeah.
It was like, well, yes, but they didn't.
Yeah.
It's like someone is the person who actively does the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like Andy saying art requires intentionality. Yes.
Yeah.
But the intention of the artist isn't necessarily like exactly the intention, like isn't necessarily the important thing. It is that there was intention, and that in itself spurs questions. Like it spurs like a response. Like having an intention to do one thing can prompt a completely different response, a completely different interpretation.
Yeah.
But the fact that there is thought behind it, there is something behind it. Even if the thought is literally just like, wonder what happens if it's still.
Yeah.
It's still there.
The classic, oh, my kid could do that. Yeah, but your kid didn't. And
no.
then, okay, so you... And, yeah, and it's like, sure, because it's not... There's no value in me doing it, or no value in my kid doing it. Well, clearly there is, because someone's done that, and now we're discussing it. And if you now go and do that, people will go, oh, you're copying Rothko. And, that there's... Yeah. And yeah, sometimes the pointlessness is the point. Like it is something very simple, something very pointless. That is the point, because it makes you think, doesn't it? And prompts discussion, and yeah. Yeah, and sure, the art world can be very pompous and can look like people just staring at a block of red on the wall going, oh, yeah, this is very intelligent, isn't it? And I think it is important to also pierce some of that bubble, and it's.
Well, I think it's there's a difference between like asking questions of art and just putting the artist on such a pedestal.
Yeah.
Like everything they have intended is wildly above what the people interacting with the art could possibly think, and therefore it's I have to delve in here because it's some kind of intricate puzzle that only a genius could have thought up, and it's just like, nah.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the point.
That brings us back to Dadaism, the point being this is for everyone. Anyone and everyone can and should be doing this because it helps us question the world around us and the rules by which we've all agreed to operate.
Yeah.
Somebody made
an exact... Sorry, go on.
No, somebody made an exact copy of a Rothko painting to raise questions about plagiarism. Is that also art? I mean, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so long as they don't try to sell it as a Rothko.
Yeah.
Although that in itself could be performance art.
Yeah.
See how it's a social experiment at that point.
Yeah.
I would say, which in a way can also be art.
I remember back in my arts degree that there was one example.
Did you do an arts degree, Sam?
I did.
Did you do an arts degree?
Yes, I did. One example shown to us of someone's exhibit, which was like 2 computers set up on a closed network, and they were just sharing a file. It might have been an MP3, just sharing a file back and forth between the two. And because that's piracy, that's illegal, that was against the law, and it's like, this was just someone's just little art exhibit they'd done. Like they weren't on a wider network, you couldn't access it, but it was just these 2 computers just endlessly looping this file back and forth, committing crime. To make a point about file sharing. Yeah.
I'd say that's art.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it was literally presented as an art piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. And I like people saying like people using non that you wouldn't download the power ad. I loved that advert. That was a good advert.
It went hard.
It really did. The music was great.
Yeah.
Like the guy that sold a blank canvas, the title "Take the Money and Run." I love that. I kind of love the fact that he did that. But you do like artists who destroy their own art? Oh, the Banksy. Yeah, that was funny. Like, yeah, I do quite enjoy that.
Yeah.
Well, because that's the ephemeral nature of art as well. Because the urge to preserve things is a relatively recent thing.
Yeah.
In the course of human history, at least.
Yeah.
Art on beaches, like sort of transient art, landscape art, stuff like that. I think is, I don't know. There's something, to me. There's something very important about that specific kind of art, because especially if it's in any way interacting with the landscape, the natural world.
Yeah.
Because I think that takes us more back to our roots in terms of our actual creativity.
Entropy comes for us all.
Yeah. With the world around us. That we have kind of forgotten about, and now art is created in such kind of, not clinical necessarily, but such controlled environments. Like you have an art studio.
Yeah.
Whereas it's just like, I mean, what's to stop you going and like putting leaves in a pattern like that guy does, whose name I've forgotten. It's really beautiful art. Like,
I think I
like,
might have seen.
Yeah, like leaves, like specific color leaves around the bottoms of trees that makes them look like they've got like fire coming out from them. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. I was going to talk about something and I completely it kept coming back to me and then going. It was like, no, I'm not going to be able to hold this one. No, that's not your fault. No, not at all. No, I'm just trying to like reread over chat and be like, okay, what made me think of it?
Oh, what prompted it?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's just like sort of about the nature of art and Oh, good grief! I'm aware. So we're going to talk about the nature of art on this one. Did you know anyway?
Nah, it's not pretentious. We're not sitting
No, I
here
know.
with, like, fancy suits on.
No, but I do have the podcaster mic. I
do have the
podcaster mic. So, but yeah,
but
it's
also,
like
one of us is in the art world.
Yeah.
Arts world.
Yeah.
Both of us.
But like,
You.
I feel like it's. I guess I see it as like it's like a conversation. It's It needs to be created with some kind of intent, and with the intent to spark something in people that see it. So something beyond just a desire to purchase. Again, getting away from like commercial. Like can an advert be art? Well, it can be made with artistic intent, but it's trying to sell you a product at the end of the day. Or the discussion that I saw was like, what about a car? Someone's put a lot of design and purpose and heart and soul into that to evoke some feelings, and it's like, well, it maybe can, but it's sort of a complicated one. Platform designed for streaming video games is a ceiling on potential. Yes, true. But trying to think through my talking points. Well, I don't know. It's like the recently deceased David Lynch, who made weird films, and frankly, made weird films for him, and would frequently be asked like, "Hey, can you explain this?" And he'd just be like, "No." Like I'm not going to elaborate on it. Everything that I wanted to say is there in the text, and I don't feel a need to explain and go through and be like, oh, the person did this, and this scene shows you this because actually this is the real true secret, ultimate unlockable S++ rank ending, which shows the real credits and the full post cutscene moment. Like, I told the story I wanted to tell. I made the film I wanted to make. I showed you the things I wanted to show you. That's the text. That's the art. How does it make you feel? And how it made you feel is how I wanted you to feel. If it made you angry, if it made you sad, good. That's your response to it. Mm-hmm. That's art, baby.
Put on a t-shirt.
Yep. With just like a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
You never watched Twin Peaks, but watching video essays about it of people trying to understand what anime is one of your favourite things. I've watched the first season, and I think I started the second season. And what I realised with the death of David Lynch was actually like looking over, like, which of his films have I seen that I can like recall to memory, and being like, oh, actually, I've not seen much of his stuff directly, but what I have seen and what I love so much is the number of things that have been directly influenced by his work. So it's like, the secondary text isn't really the correct way to put it, but it's like I've not seen as much of his stuff, but I've seen and enjoyed and loved so many of that wider orbit, the things from other people who have seen and loved his work and then gone, that's made me go and make my own weird thing. And that's, to some of your favourite stuff gets tied directly back to Twin Peaks. Yo, same. I mean, you want me to talk about Alan Wake? I'll talk about Alan Wake. And yeah, like there's just an endless list of TV shows and films and video games and books that all link back to either him or other people who've been influenced by him. And it's like, frankly, as legacies go, for someone who just put his head down and made the things that he wanted to make, with no apology, it's, you can't really ask for much better than that. And so the fact that it's just like, no, I'm not going to explain it. I said what I said. And how did it make you feel? Like that's good, actually.
Well, and also it puts agency in the hands of the people actually you know,
Yeah.
the consumers of the art, the audience for it, which I think is very important, rather than, because something like, as a musician, something that you get a lot as a classical musician, at least, is like, what was the composer's intention with this, and how can we be most faithful to that?
Yeah.
And it puts so much power and so much authority in what frankly is a score,
Yeah.
which is like a physical object, and it's printed, like
Yeah.
the notes on the page, and it's a very musicologist thing to, you know, get obsessed with this document, and the composer's intention. But it's just like, well, that, like, and then everybody's interpretation must be as close as possible to the composer's intention. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, that's not music.
And then Baz Luhrmann comes along, kicks down the door, and goes, "Right, Hawaiian shirts and guns for everybody."
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was right to do it.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
It's great. But like, I think, yeah, I just like with music, it like the actual excuse me, the actual effect of music has got nothing to do. I mean, obviously it has something to do with like the notes on the page, but everybody has a different, like, not even interpretation. Everybody has different things that come into their head, sound wise. Some people are going to be lacking in certain frequencies because they are older, or they are hard of hearing, or whatever.
Some people see shapes and colours.
Yep, some people have synesthesia. So, and everybody gets, you know, either emotionally affected or not affected at all by different things, and it's so ephemeral and fleeting that it's kind of pointless to make this kind of sweeping generalization of an authoritative statement of the composer is, you know, the true artist here. And it's actually, well, no, they're not. You need to put, you know, the power in the hands of the people who are actually listening, and actually listen to what they feel and what they think and their interpretations, because like, that's the interesting stuff. And that's I think where most of the art resides, because art is on a very basic level, art is us trying to explain, or trying to emotionally find our way around, or life, just all of this.
Like art to me is a conversation. It's and so the, like, essentially trying to you know, condense it down to, like, so can you explain it? It's like trying to explain a conversation, or to be right or wrong about a conversation. It's a dialogue. And it's like, this is going to be a tangent, and I apologize, but because it's, again, a topic that's come up on, I think it's on the John's Discord, with the, you know, sort of the classic "I was just making a joke" defense of someone says something offensive, someone gets upset by it, and then the person who said the offensive thing goes, "Oh, I was just making a joke." Like, okay, well, what was the joke and who was it for? Like, that's a joke is a conversation still, in to me, in the same way as art. And it's like, you are saying something with an intent. There's what you're saying, there's the payload of the joke, there's the thing that you have said, and then there's the person on the other end who is there to receive it. And these are all important moving parts. And likewise, art, you have the artist, you have the art they create, and then you have the audience. This is my first tangent. I don't think that's true. And
Tangents.
yes, I
like that.
Something death of the author. Yeah, where's my gun? And it's like, yeah, you've made your joke. So what was the joke? How was it funny, and who was it funny to? Like, these are questions that you need to be able to answer when you're making a joke. And if it actually makes you stop and look and go, actually, yeah, no, sorry, I said it because I thought it'd be funny, but now that I stop and think about it, the reason I thought it was funny is because it's deeply offensive to you. I'm sorry. That was my mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I apologize. I'll learn and do better. Like, that's how you respond to someone doing that. That's what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
Take responsibility for the things that you said. And, you know, likewise, art is like, you have, these are moving parts. They are. It's a mechanism. And yes, sometimes the thing that you are trying to say is essentially, this is meaningless. There can be that sort of nihilistic attitude to it. It can be, to deconstruct the mystique around art. It can be an absurdist joke to make fun of and dismantle the rules around making a joke. This works, this is valid, but it needs that kind of intent behind it to actually to count and to function in that way. Anti-jokes have had plenty of time in the sun because they use the rules and the workings of a joke, the setup, the punchline, but the point of it is that it doesn't fit together in the right way, and those missing parts, the gear slippage because you've gone from first to fifth, it doesn't work, and that's what makes it funny, because it's missing a step as you're going up the stairs or something like that. It's that kind of like, whoa, wait, hang on, I was expecting this but I didn't get that. Like, that's it's all very interesting.
It is.
Yeah. The history of Finnish. Sorry, Hastings.
You're back down the Finnish wormhole.
Yeah.
It's much more complex than you remembered. Yeah, that checks out. Why did the crab go to prison? Oh, God.
Art is also a good way to make other people see the world like you do. It's a sign we don't all see things the same way. Yes, exactly. It's,
Well, and why did the crab go to prison? Crimes. Nice. I mean, yeah, like, it's interesting reading the language puzzle, because, like, this is obviously trying to work out when we developed language. And thinking that sort of by at the Neanderthal times, they're not 100% sure whether they had like a fully modern language, is the terms they're using, like, that uses syntax and uses like different kind of is able to structure things and is able to be passed down through generations with a level of understanding to be picked up, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But like, Neanderthals were making art. We have evidence of art.
Yeah.
And decorative art, cave paintings, beads as necklaces, basically ways, like, maybe not for the beads, but certainly for like art on, frankly, canvases that were, cave walls and things like that. That is us trying to explain the world before we had the means to explain it through language, which I find very, very interesting, because, like, it's what Lama says, like, it's a good way to make other people see the world like you do. It is inherently sort of explanatory, or at least exploratory, because it's like, I have done this thing, now you need to view, witness, experience this thing, and I am endeavoring to show you a thing with some intention behind it. I would like you to come to the same like conclusion of intention, but that doesn't necessarily mean, but if you don't, that doesn't necessarily mean I failed.
And this is why AI art sucks, because it has absolutely no intent or design behind it.
Oh, absolutely.
There is literally no worldview that it is trying to shape or encompass. It can't look at what it's made and go, it's close, but it's not right. I'm going to take another crack at it.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah. And yeah, I like that, Llama.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I'm going to read out because, for YouTube. Hey, YouTube.
Yeah.
If you've made it this far into YouTube and you're not
point.
following the channel, drop us a follow. We'd appreciate it. Thanks. This podcast brought to you by Casper Mattresses and HelloFresh. If you have subscribed to HelloFresh, give us a £10 discount. What?
He's lying, everyone.
Absolutely not. A very famous French comic said, you can laugh about everything, but not with everyone, and people misinterpret it, do they, to mean you can laugh at racist jokes, but not with people of that race. So what he meant, in fact, you can't... Stop chatting!
Stop talking!
Scrolling up! What, in fact, he meant, you can't make jokes that involve minorities with a fascist because they don't think it's a joke. There's a way to make jokes about minorities funny, you just have to not punch down. Exactly. What that called to mind was I think I have linked their stand-up set. There's a comedian, Sam Nicoresti, who is trans, and they basically, the premise of this show that's been doing the rounds, and I've seen some clips from it, it's very funny, was them saying, I'm going to do the thing that, because so many famous comedians going, I want to push boundaries, I want to make jokes about trans people, but you're not letting me, and they're like, yeah, you can, you just have to make them funny, and then do an entire set of jokes about trans people and being trans. And it's very funny, because it turns out if you actually do these things where you're not just like bullying and belittling and diminishing and making fun of a minority, but in fact actually making jokes about that experience, you can do those jokes, and it works, and it's actually very funny, and you don't just come across as some small-minded bigot. So yeah, it's like you can do these things, you just have to be good at them. And that's the lesson a lot of people don't want to learn. Yeah.
Also, hella fresh MLP.
Yep.
Jokes are difficult.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Sorry, my nose is running. Don't mind me. No. Good jokes are.
I'm wondering if there's anything in the stuff that I unearthed today that's like on this topic.
Jokes can be used to celebrate, not just belittle. Fancy that. Yeah, and like, I think not as a counterpoint. Actually, yeah. What about the offensive jokes? But like, I feel like I see a lot as a counterpoint. Like, again, I guess like absurdist humour and anti-jokes as examples of like when people are saying, oh, you can't make jokes about anything these days. Like, sure you can. You can do these like absurd jokes or anti-jokes and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, but I don't know. I feel like that comedy doesn't have to. There's a whole lot of things that can be comedy, and I still think there is a world where comedy can have an edge. It can like push boundaries, and like art, like music, like comedy can still like explore the edge of what counts as comedy or what's socially acceptable. But dark humor can be funny, yeah. But, and I'm being extremely conscious and careful and clear to say, this is not a qualifier of I can get up on stage and be racist or sexist or homophobic or transphobic and then go, it's just jokes, innit? Because again, you're trying to make, you've got to have a point, and if your point is just, frankly, like propping up and establishing the norm and exist, you're not breaking any rules, you're not pushing any, you're not breaking any conventions, you're not pushing any boundaries, you're just punching down. And again, I don't feel like the whole punching up, punching down thing, that feels to me to I don't like a single axis of, it's either punching up or it's punching down, and if you're not punching up, then you're punching down, and that makes you bad. It's like, I think there can be more axes to the way, why do things even have to punch? But I guess I'm arguing that sometimes comedy should swing a punch. But just gonna round this off with the, mealy mouth is difficult, innit? And people struggle. James Acaster has a very good bit about all this. He does, and you know what? He's a professional comedian. Probably has a lot more insight on it than I do. It's very funny when a millionaire goes on stage, says something offensive, and then goes, "That's a joke, by the way. I'm a joke, guys. I'm joking. I'm very joking. I'm going to say a slur now as a joke." Yeah, exactly. It's that's the best bit. A key part of a lot of comedy is that it has to have an element of reality, and therefore you have to know what you're talking about. And, for example, racists making racist jokes usually have little to no actual knowledge of the people they're making fun of. Yeah, exactly. A lot of that is just, it's making fun of stereotypes. Hi Jeff Dunham, how you doing? Yeah, stuff like that. And where do I go with this? I don't know. I feel like I'm running out of steam on this one. Yeah, I don't know.
Jokes are hard.
Jokes are hard, and jokes are hard, and they're a very, very cultural product. Like seeing different jokes from different nationalities and different languages and different cultures is again fascinating. Like seeing and understanding how, again, it's artistic expression. Understanding like something that just does not resonate. If you like translate it into another language, it does not land because you don't have the same lived experiences as the people where that joke originated.
Yeah.
Plenty of white comedians have made jokes about Muslims you find hilarious. Again, this is from Lama, you are Muslim, correct? Right? And it's just like white guy in chat. Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of jokes about Muslims funny. Oh, do you? They're just either taking the time to learn what they're talking about, or they're poking fun at themselves and ask for a minimum of research and introspection. Okay, correct, good, thank you. Yeah, just again, it's just conscious of like anyone watching this back on YouTube, like, oh yeah. Yeah, like that's it. Yeah. It can be done. You just, know what you're saying, and like and know your audience as well. Like know who you are joking to. Like who you want to make laugh. It's like I'm not going to remember the full details of the story about Alistair Beckett King. I think I remember him saying, like, sort of a transformative moment for him was, I'm reluctant to go too much into details because frankly I don't want to like get it wrong and give incorrect information about this sort of subject. But I'm pretty sure he has said something in the past about there was like some joke in his set. Like, I don't think he himself is Jewish or has any sort of Jewish heritage or anything, but I think I remember him saying he had like a joke in his set that was about Jewishness, and it wasn't like necessarily offensive and playing up on the stereotypes, but he found that only a certain section of the audience would laugh at it. And they were all consistently the kind of people that you wouldn't want laughing, that basically kind of laughing at it for the wrong reasons. And that was kind of a wake-up moment for him of like, wait, I think the joke I'm doing is okay, but the only people who are actually enjoying it are, frankly, bigots and anti-Semites. I'm going to cut the joke. I'm not going to do that anymore because I don't want to put that out into the world. Yeah. And again, I really apologise if there's someone who knows the full facts on this and can drop a better version of that into chat for me to read out. That, help yourself. But yeah, that's again, comedian, joke, audience, and you have to be aware of all these things. And this is the art that you are creating. This is the conversation that you are having. Yeah.
It's communication.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were deep in a book for that. Did you find anything?
I wasn't deep in a book. I was deep in so many notes.
Oh, right. There's like
This is my research project.
B flat. There's an F sharp.
It's just great. I need to find my actual research project essay, because this is like a draft of it. Yeah, there's quite a few pages.
Yeah.
But I will have the actual thing somewhere. But yeah, there's so many good quotes from so many things I read. It's just very there's also an excellent bit here. I again won't be able to see, but there's a quote here that's tonality, meter, and rhythm are psychologically real organizing principles, possibly instantations of musical universals. And I've written no shit next to it. I was obviously feeling particularly sassy.
Mm-hmm.
Me. But I do quite like. In other words, it is the whole process of being a biological human inhabiting a physical and social world that provides the fuel and the impetus for a dynamic understanding of music. Kind of cool. Yeah, it's basically this whole thing of just like, well, music came first, or musical behaviors at least. It's just very, it's very interesting, very interesting. But yeah. Lots of all cultures and societies have music.
Yeah.
It is a universal. It's an academic way of saying we live in a society, kind of.
Yeah.
But also, music is inherent, and I will fight anybody who says.
Are there animals besides humans who make music? Arian, may I introduce you to birds?
No, birds are just going. This is mine. This is mine. Piss off.
And,
mine.
And
go away.
And how do they do it?
Well, is it music? I mean, it is to us. Yeah,
I'm joking. By the way,
I know.
silly. Okay.
Well, no, I know, but like one of the bits that I was looking into was birds and whales, because
crows must bang things together rhythmically and be like, "Yo, check this beat out."
They do. They literally do.
Nice.
Yeah, they like making noise. Oh, hey, look at me, I'm the hottest. Oh, yeah, exactly. It's just like, I'm so cool. I've got a cool new song. All the chicks love it. See what I did there? It's a joke because chicks.
Birds also works.
That is true. But I don't know. For some reason, I hate birds more.
Oh, I hate all of those.
Yeah, it's all bad.
Yeah.
Dolphins do stuff for fun. Yeah, I mean, obviously, corvids and various other mimics. They mimic things. It's almost like, it's interesting because they sort of, and birds use it. It's like thrushes are another good example. They collect songs to widen their repertoire
on wikis.
Yeah. Look, I respected your bit. I didn't interject with silly, sassy comments.
I'm making jokes. I was literally talking about making jokes.
Oh, yeah, all right. Fair enough. Yeah, like they don't actually know. It's sort of intention, isn't it? It's a creative intention, and obviously they don't know enough about the brains of whales, dolphins, birds, and things to know whether it is sort of the same kind of way of trying to explain and explore the world as we do, because like calling calls that are learnt, and they have one singular purpose. They can only be interpreted one way. There is no creativity in that. It is literally just like, this does this. That is, I would argue, I wouldn't say that's necessarily a musical behavior.
Yeah, that's just a signpost.
Yeah, that's just, do this, get this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like something like a crow or something, bashing on a thing because they're like, oh, this is making a fun sound. There's a creativity there that I would argue is a musical behavior. And we still don't know anywhere near enough about whales and dolphins and things and their calls and their intention, because sea's a big
whales
place.
are very musical. Have you heard their choirs?
Why are you? Was it me who mentioned some birds use another bird's alarm call to chase them away from the feeder? You may have heard that elsewhere. I don't think I've said that, but also, it's a thing. It's not just birds. It's a thing with all sorts of animals. Mimicry in order to... it's mimicry to get resources, basically, whatever those resources are.
Yeah.
He is very pleased with that one.
Yeah.
Your sister's dogs like it when you play the piano. So the funniest pet that I have encountered when playing the trumpet. So Puff hates it. My old trumpet teacher had two cats who just seemed to be really just didn't care. Like they would just sort of be in the room just like, oh, someone's making a lot of noise with the trumpet. Probably because they were around it all the time. And they were just like, eh. Joey's hilarious. Because Joey, when I start playing, will come to the door, meow a couple of times to be let in, sit there, look at me, I will play a bit, and then he'll get to a point where he's just like, no, I'm done now, let me out. He's just, but
yeah.
it's so it's very Joey.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting because he never has a kind of like other cats I have encountered whilst playing trumpet really don't like it because it's
Yeah.
loud, or it gets beyond a certain frequency that there is like, yeah, no, can't deal
Yeah.
with that, and then they're just like, get me out of here, I hate it.
Yeah.
But Joey's not like that, which is kind of interesting.
He's very curious. I'm trying to think if I've
Yeah.
ever figured out how he reacts
He's
towards...
tried to get in my trumpet case before.
Well, that's just because it looks...
It's just like, I wish to sniff all of the things.
Yeah. Because we used to have a cat who I couldn't... Because I have harmonicas and I barely play them. And we used to have a cat who hated it. But hated it to the point where he would seek me out and howl at me until I stopped. It's just like... Pain. You're causing me pain. You're causing me pain. Please stop. This hurts. I've come up to you to ask you in person as loudly but politely as I can to please thank you. You stop. And I don't... Joey doesn't seem to react like that, but kind of because of that, I don't want to practice them around him in case it is also causing him pain. But he
just removes himself from the situation when things something he doesn't like.
I'm just wondering how it compares to the shower, because the shower...
Oh god, he hates the shower.
He hates the shower, but he has to go in there.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, what's this? What's going on here? It's a shower. Ah! Runs. Like, he's...
Well, he's convinced that you're somehow being tortured or something.
Yeah, it might be just like a protective reflex. Like, no, I've got to save you. Oh no, I can't. It's too much. I'm out. You're on your own. You dissolve. Oh, you lived? What? It's There's a whole psychology going on there that I don't yet understand.
He's a complex cat.
There's a lot going on. He contains manifolds.
He's a philosopher.
Yeah, and philosopher. Where?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like on the subject of like animals making music and stuff, then yeah, it can't just be because like I would guess, is it like pretty much all or just all bird song is essentially communicative. It really, it's just like, it sounds musical to us because there's notes and pitches and stuff like that, but it's essentially just like us talking. But and again, obviously, yes, even conversation can be art if scripted with the intent to tell a story or something. But if it's literally just someone saying, "Hey, I'm going to go to the shops and pick up some tortilla wraps and some bread. We're going to have carbs," and someone's going, "Yes, okay," that's not art necessarily. And so if it's just kind of the avian equivalent of that, then yeah, it's not really art. But
yeah, I think well, again, there's a lot of stuff in this about like chimp calls and ape calls and stuff.
Yeah,
and calls are, which is what bird song is. Like calls are just, oh god, I can't remember what exact words he uses to describe it, but it's just like they are standalone phrases that don't get changed.
Yeah.
In order to convey a specific meaning or to just literally trigger a reaction.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily trigger a conscious reaction, trigger I do this is the response I get. There is no either I get this response or this response. So there is like I think there's an important
put your hands up
distinction.
Yeah.
There's an important distinction to be made between like a call and like an actual sort of creatively constructed. And I'm not saying you need like, oh, I think I'm just going to have this, but there's an element of play.
Yeah.
I think that, and play, in my opinion, play is creativity. So I would say, like,
oh, we're down in the red again. What? I am really sorry, folks. I don't know. Yeah, I'd see the streams.
We might wrap this up fairly soon, I guess.
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's an element of play that I would say, like, again, like dolphins and things, that is definitely creative, and that would just kind of be interesting to know whether that then translates into sound for these animals as well.
Yeah.
I suppose in a way you could also say human art music is just mating behavior with more steps. I mean, that is one of the theories that is posited for the evolution of musical behaviors. But as Andy said, there is a social aspect to it. Yeah, like one of the theories that I rather like is basically just the musical behaviors came from basically our version of social grooming, because obviously, you know, our nearest common ancestor with the chimps is basically a chimp, and they engage in, you know, social grooming. She says, itching her head, in order to, you know, reinforce social bonds in a group and stuff like that. Whereas obviously at some point we lacked hair, so music, musical behaviors is a way to do that when you're not necessarily talking language wise, but it's a cohesion thing, is a way of bringing a group together. So some of the point is attracting people to their circle of influence in a very basic sense. Yes, I would agree. But I think it's evolved from that now. To again, it's like, it's, so is it still art if you never share it with anyone?
Are you positing the question, the time-old question of if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? I think what's happened is that the definition and the meaning of art has just sort of been played and recorded in a room endlessly for so long until that meaning has just sort of dispersed into the... And so now it's no longer one clear, simple, easy, definable... Translate, you see what I've done there? It's nebulous and gaseous, and it's more open to interpretation in terms of, like, essentially trying to communicate a feeling to someone else. And I get, like, to me that would kind of be a way by which I would measure and validate, frankly, looking at the bird, saying, like, that's not art, you shut up, that's not art. What did you... Like... Gotta lean out the window and holler at the crows, stop that, you're just shouting, that's not art, it's not music. But yeah, like, is there an intent behind it to convey some kind of feeling? It doesn't have to be that the audience, the other birds hearing it, or the other people hearing it, or the other fellas hearing it, that they derive the same meaning as you are trying to put out. But is it done with the intent to evoke some kind of meaning or feeling in the other things? And that feels like a much less common thing amongst animals, to try and actually make, I'm picturing a crow with a saxophone trying to make another crow cry, that sort of thing, of, like, you know,
if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be crows.
Yes, exactly, just up there with this little trumpet. And
I absolutely would see a crow playing a trumpet. That would make me very happy.
Yes.
Maybe I should do it for the ravens.
Just like the round glasses, we're back to French, with the round glasses, beret, trumpet, just like tooting away in the middle of the night. Knock that off. That is not in public domain.
But I think, I think even if you never share it with anyone, you are still making it with an intention for a response, whether it's whether it's someone else's response or whether it's a response from you. Like, people create art not only for, as I say, I think art is basically just the way in which we explore and explain.
You can be your own audience.
Life. Yeah, exactly. So I think, it is still art. I think it is still art when you're, especially with music.
Are you creating it with the intention of never sharing it with anyone? Hey, guess what? You just discovered artistic meaning, sucker. Yeah,
exactly.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get that one in.
No, completely true. You definitely made drawings you don't want to share because they're too full of emotion. Well, exactly. That's the thing. It's like you are making a thing to elicit a reaction. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone else's reaction. It doesn't have to necessarily be someone else's feeling or interpretation or whatever. If you are making it with the intention of it doing something.
We're down at the red again. No.
Oh no.
Sorry,
then
viewers.
yeah, it's art.
Hmm.
Like, yeah. Someone sitting in a room by themselves playing some soulful saxophone that makes them feel stuff. Still art, even if no one hears it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do like if you intend not to show anyone, then yes, that is still, yeah, as you say, that is still like eliciting a response from other people, but the response is non-existent.
Yeah.
And that's the intent. Like, I don't want a response. You are actively.
Guess what you just stumbled into.
Yeah. Everything is art.
If it wants to
That's
be.
basically the conclusion. Yes. I guess.
Everything can be art.
Everything can be art. You are art. I am art. We are all art. Written stuff, not journaling, but actual fiction with a specific intention. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's art.
That's art. You're an artist now. You can put that on your
you
CV.
did an art, Andy. Get you. Welcome to the club. We don't get paid. Yeah. It's, yeah. Everybody is an artist in their own way, because guess what? Art is, I find it one of the weirdest things, but also I guess a very human society thing. One of the weirdest things in this world is the fact that we have made something that is a universal, which is human creativity, into an elitist thing that only certain people are allowed to do. And also that those people are both incredibly highly valued and also not valued at all. Like, what their works are valued, them as people and the creative process not valued at all. When actually the whole point of creativity is the people who are being creative, because, you know, we're social animals, and the process. And yet we have somehow completely just
Hey, Mark Twain wrote a short story about that.
He did, didn't he? But yeah, like, it's why I get so, it's one of the many reasons I get so angry when, you know, arts funding and stuff is cut, because it's just like, this isn't necessary. It's like, no, it literally is. Excuse me. It's like the whole thing with, like, when everything, I'm going to get on a arts rant if I'm not careful. But,
I mean, you've been here for the last hour and a half. You've heard me. Go for it. Let it rip.
Yeah. Well, it's why it's like, and when everything was cut during COVID and everything, it's just like everybody discovered how important creativity and the arts in every single form was, frankly, to human survival and mental health, which turns out is a big part of human survival. And it was still deemed as unnecessary. Like, it wasn't important enough. And it's like, well, sure, you can make people, like, you can give people all the necessities for living. You can give them food and water and, like, medicine and healthcare and all that kind of stuff. But they're not going to want to live unless there is some meaning somewhere. And often, well, for everybody, there is creative, like, it doesn't matter how you package up creativity, but everybody finds meaning in some level of creativity. I will argue even religion is creativity. It is art in some way. Because we either made stuff up or we talked about it and like put it down in books, or like it is. I mean, even faith in a way is art.
Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, I feel like, faith and religion have been a driving force for a lot of early-ish, like, art and culture, or maybe it just kind of took it over. But a lot of that is stories of gods and morals.
The Bible is like the ultimate fantasy book for artists. It's like, oh, I'm going to take this character and draw them.
I'm going to picture this big guy in the sky, and we're all going to write fanfic about it. Okay, everyone turn in your pieces. Ooh, good. Oh, you four have all written the same thing.
Oh, damn.
Okay, we'll just stick them all in. We'll let people figure it out.
Yeah. Religion is made of stories. Stories are art. Exactly. You find it so weird that classical music is considered elitist, but tickets are usually very affordable compared to, you know, Taylor Swift. Don't get me started. Please don't get me started. It's bullshit. We are so desperately, well, I say we, the people who are creating the music ain't elitist. The people who are protecting the institutions that give them money, or, you know, they're the elitist ones, who aren't actually musicians often, which is very funny. But yeah, you feel like you have so much you want to express artistically, but you have absolutely no ability. It's quite frustrating. I mean, you'll have ability in something. Like I think everybody has a natural creative ability of some kind. Whether that creative ability is literally just like, I'm a good socializer. I'm good at like getting people together and making them feel welcome. That is being creative with language. That is being creative with, you know.
I mean, I feel like for me that is a statement that in some way I feel like I can relate to. In that I often have like, yeah, bigger ideas that I would like to be able to express, and I don't feel as though I have the technical competence in whatever field that may be. And largely it's like, oh, I would love to do a music. I like listening to the music, and I would like to do a music. Okay, well, how do I actually do that? Damn, I can't play any instruments. Okay. And so that's where, like, for me eventually I feel like I've settled more on, okay, I guess I've been speaking this language most of my life. I guess I'll try and convey ideas and feelings through that instead. So I'm going to try and write things and get better at that. And even that for me is a slow process, because hey, the next struggle is motivation. But yeah, for me, I can relate to the idea, or to the feeling of, hey, I can relate to the feeling. Hey, guess what's art? Of having things that you want to say or do, and not knowing the right medium to put that out there. And yeah, I agree with what I agree with the idea that there probably is a medium for you. There probably is something that you can do, and it may even be something that you're bad at. It might be, you
William McGonagall. Sorry, carry on.
It might be art. It might be as simple as opening MS Paint and doing just absolute, like, dog water art. You have some musical ability and can write a bit. You really want to draw or paint, but absolutely cannot. Same. But I mean, even exactly, our patron saint, Billy T. If you want to do the thing, do the thing. Do it badly.
Yeah.
And
that is the big thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Like,
creativity does not have to be good.
Yeah.
And by whose metric?
Yeah. And you get better by being bad.
Exactly.
Which is, this is a lesson I told Lucy about this for a couple of weeks back. I picked up from just putting on Radio 3 the other week and hearing a monk talk about meditation. And how, it's when meditating and you get distracted by thoughts, it's easy to sort of get frustrated at yourself for being bad at meditating, because you're being distracted by thoughts and having stray thoughts that you don't want to have, because you want to have an empty head. That's the point of meditating. And actually, it's good, because this is how you learn to get better. By being distracted, by having things enter your head and distracting you, you are training those muscles, training the process by which you learn to move them on and get them out of your head to empty your head. They're a good thing, in fact. It's Dark Souls get good. It's, in order to get good, one must first be bad. And actually, this is me talking to myself more than anyone else. It is important to be bad, because that is how you get good. Giving yourself permission to do something badly is good. You tried an art class in college?
Teachers and instructors can completely make or break any kind of creativity, and there are some really shit people out there who should not be teaching. Like, I am talking from experience.
Yes. Okay, let's go for a literal example. Anybody here in chat who, because there's a lot of names here that I know are also active and familiar with the Longest Johns community. You've seen, like, the little three-headed homunculus cartoon version of the Longest Johns that I put out.
It is incredible, and we all love it.
I literally do that because the like the Kim has meant, kind of, yeah. Like
The
that's
worst.
yeah, that is me, not an art. Your sleep paralysis demon. Yes, exactly. Right. I am not an artist. I am not someone who it has ever been said can draw well. I will have ideas in my head, but I am not good at putting them down into an image that I am happy with. I mean, maybe I've had someone look at it and go, oh, that's kind of nice. Like a parent talking to a 3-year-old who's just gotten the crayons. Like that's the kind of level that I operate at. But I do those kind of sketches, and look, it gets a response. People enjoy them. And I wouldn't exactly say I've gotten good, but I've gotten better at just drawing this weird little cartoon figure. And every now and then other, like, again, this is not like I'm being like, no, don't. I'm not trying to talk myself up like, oh yeah, I've become a really good artist by practicing these weird sketchy little drawings and doodling on pictures, like the picture of Llama's dog. That's a weird sentence. Llama's dog Foxia, that I was like, okay, well, I'm going to draw a beret, sunglasses, and a cigarette hanging from her mouth, and a little coffee in the corner. And it's like these are things that if you'd asked me like 2, 3, 4 years ago to draw, I would have had a much harder time doing. And again, this isn't me going like, oh, I'm bigging myself up as an artist, but even those little bits and pieces here and there, I count them as little bits of practice because I've gotten just a little bit better each time I've done that. I've learned something a little bit more about how I want to draw these things. And I'm trying to think of like other examples, but like there are little things like that you can do. And really it is so much the fear of failure and the fear of looking bad. And so give yourself permission to be bad. Give yourself permission to draw something bad, or to write a terrible story, or to do some absolute ass poetry, or make a bad tune, you know. Download a digital audio workstation, some instruments, and just mash on the keys until you've got something, and then make something better next time. Yeah. There are...
Yeah, and like... Sorry.
Go for it.
Oh, I was going to say, just... I know our patron saint, but like...
Yeah.
He is the prime example. There is a reason we love him here, because his poetry is bad.
Yeah.
There are no two ways about it. It is bad. But we love it. Like, genuinely love it. Because it does... Yeah. Again, it doesn't elicit the reaction he wanted.
Yeah.
Which was, oh, yes, wonderful. It elicits laughter, but that's still doing something.
Yeah. And we're still talking about it in the year of our Lord Billy T. McGonagall 2025.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the thing, is like, it's like bad by whose metric?
Yeah.
Like, there's a downside not caring about things being perfect, want to try too many things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's like I come from the opposite, basically kind of the opposite spectrum, from the opposite side of the spectrum from Sam. Because, like, for me, it was like, because of the nature of what I do and the nature of, like, how I got to this point, like, you have to accept immediately that you will be bad at something. You get a brand new piece, you know you need to work on it. So your expectation is not, this has got to be perfect first time, or this is, I've got to create something good. It is, right, this is going to be bad. I'm going to fail from the get-go. How do I enjoy the process? And I think that's such a big thing. And it's a big, big thing for musicians, especially classical musicians, because practice is it's such a holy grail for us. And because we have to do so much of it to become good at our instruments, especially for string players. And pianists as well, but like string players,
yeah,
I think they've got the toughest time, because and sure, the perfectionism is definitely there, and it definitely harms more than it helps, but there is just a lot more acceptance that practice is a thing, you go into a room and you practice. Like, this is the room for making mistakes. This is the room for being bad at the thing. And hopefully by the time you come out of this room, you'll have nailed one bar. And you know that, okay, I've done this badly enough times, but I've done it better some more times than I've done it badly. This will probably be good next time. And then you come back the next time, the rest of it can be absolute dog shit. But this one bar, you nail it first time. And it's like, you take the tiny nugget of progress, and it's just, and everything else can be crap, but it's just like, well, the work that I did, that's the thing, it's just like the work. It's finding a way of enjoying the actual act of being bad at something, but trying to improve. And I think, and that's something that I've always really enjoyed about like practicing. I enjoy the kind of like the puzzle box type thing of, if I can take a piece apart, I know this is going to be an element that I'm going to find difficult, so I'm going to work on it because it's going to sound crap to start with. And if I work on that, and I know this bit's going to be a bit better, I can do that work a little bit later on, blah, blah, blah. And it becomes less about me doing something well. It becomes more about figuring the problems out, figuring, why do I find this difficult? And if you sort of switch to that more analytical thing, and it's a lot more impersonal. I mean, sure, it's very like when you're practicing and stuff, is like, if you just completely have a day and it's not going well, it can be very sort of emotionally draining as well. But like, if you are sort of puzzling out stuff, it's a lot more kind of, it's a lot more impersonal, and you yourself then are trying to work out why things aren't working, what's going on.
I mean, where you started that with the it essentially, like, I'm going to be bad at this, but I'm going to try to enjoy getting as far as I can with it. You said it differently to that, I think, but there was kind of way you put it. I was like, that basically, and we're going to jump to a different subject briefly. That is literally the mentality that I had when I started playing Elden Ring. Because it was like, it was literally going in with like, I'm not going to finish this game. I'm not going to beat this game and be a real ultimate true capital G gamer who beats the hard games. But I think I can probably extract enough fun from this game to call it my money's worth. Like, that's what I'm going in with. Essentially, I'm already beaten. I've already lost. Let's have fun seeing how far we get. And I finished the game, and I love it, and it was great. And it's like, oh, okay. And
you've got good.
I did. It's some definition of good. But, you know, I grew as a gamer. And, like, that, frankly, I'd like to be able to apply that to other things as well. Because, I do struggle with being bad. Even when I'm the only person that can hear it, I will still go, right, I want to try and learn to get better at music. So I plug in the keyboard and I load up my audio software and I pick an instrument and then I go, meep. No, that's a oof, oh, no, hate that, no, nope, close that down, go away, load up video game to feel better about myself. And so that's my own battle. Right. I
mean, that's kind of sounds like what Andy's saying. Is just like, you have so much muscle memory. For example, with video games, you have a base level of how good you are at just video games across the board. So you're already at that level, and then when you go to something else, you have to like pick it up from the ground up and learn a whole new thing. And it's, especially as you get older, it's harder to.
Chat can't see, but I'm pointing at my DJ controller.
I
was like, I suck at this. I want to get better, but also I don't like sucking at things.
But. Never forget the night you spent 24 hours watching Sam. Oh God, we don't talk about those streams.
No, we do, because I got better when I beat it.
You did.
It wasn't 24 hours. It was closer to 10.
Screwed up your sleep schedule.
Oh yeah, that's the only time I've ever done that.
No, it's a recurring thing. Cough, desert mouse cough. But well, no, that I found that, Andy, with like learning guitar. It's like I'm so good at this other thing. It is frustrating, starting another thing and getting better at it. But like, again, like, going, and obviously it will be frustrating. There's very, very little you can do to stop yourself being frustrated. But then it's just like, okay, why am I frustrated? Okay, because I don't have the muscle memory to do this thing. In that case, right, what do I need to do to get the muscle memory better? And it's the kind of breaking it down into what do these things that are attached to my body need to do to make this thing work? And then it's nothing to do, ironically, if you take the creativity out of it and you treat yourself a bit like a machine that obviously needs care and attention and sustenance, that's the important thing.
No, that's not true. You can make your sim practice guitar from the minute they get home to the minute they go to bed, and they will get better.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like if you treat yourself like a sort of conglomeration of parts, then that kind of, or at least, yeah, if you treat it, I don't know, I find it like if you treat it like a puzzle, then it's kind of interesting. I'll spin the truth here. But again, like it's difficult for me to not see it in the way I see it, just simply because I've had such well, frankly, I've had such an intense relationship with practice and learning an instrument and getting good at an instrument, and that's just become that has become a part of my mentality and a part of how I see things. And I think this probably is the same for every classical musician out there. But also that does come with problems as well, because then you get to the perfectionism thing. But that's people outside often putting that on you.
Should we steal the idea from another streamer that I watch?
What's that?
So Day 9, I think he still does the 30-day project, where like in his community, basically like I can't remember what month they do it, but essentially, if I understood it correctly, they set aside a month in the year where, like, leading up to it, everyone who is involved is like, okay, I'm going to do this for the month. And it can be what it can be, you know, I'm going to write, I'm going to learn to make music, I am going to learn to make video games, I'm 30 days of essentially focused improvement at a task. And I'm just wondering actually whether that might be a cool, positive thing for us to try and do as a community, to be like, okay,
that's a nice idea.
This is our month. Maybe try and do it around the anniversary, like Book Week or something. But like, this is our month. Who's in? No pressure. Track, sort of like Nano, but for any skill. Yeah, and without AI stuff. I think they embraced AI, and everyone was like, "Oh,
great,
goodbye." But yeah, but for any skill, for any, we do not talk about problem is that you need the time and energy. You might feel bad if it doesn't work out. Well, I mean, you're kind of setting your own goals as well.
Yeah, you set your own goals, you set your own metrics. Like, I want to get a little bit better at this thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be as grand as Nano. Like, I am going to write 100,000 words in a month. Really? When are you going to sleep? Like, that's okay.
Done that.
Yeah.
Not for Nano.
No.
But I've done that.
And how did you feel at the end of the month?
You don't get a lot of sleep.
No. Right.
I was also in full-time higher education.
Yeah. This is intended to be, I think, a little bit more of like a healthy approach to that. And yeah, you can set your own goals. And it can be just like for me, I might...
It doesn't have to be 30 days straight either. It can just be just like, today I did some stuff.
Yeah, like...
By the end of this 30 days, I want to have done, a few days of this thing.
During a week, I can probably find 2 hours, even if it's split into like half-hour segments on 4 different days in a week. I can find half an hour when I'm going to stop playing a video game early, or I'm not going to watch Twitch, and instead I'm going to sit down and try to write a story, or try to write some words for a story. Not I'm going to write a story in half an hour, but try to write. Or I'm going to open up a music program and try and learn to do a bit of music. Or I'm going to knit, or I'm going to just try to advance one of my own personal projects to learn to put something back out into the world a little bit more. And you can even just say, hey, I'm doing this, here's how I'm doing, I did half an hour today, good job, well done. You don't have to like show up with receipts and be like, here is the story that I wrote. Everyone look at it and tell me if I've gotten better, because that's hard.
Well, and also do it for yourself. Don't do it.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Other people. Like,
it's not for the content.
It's just a kind of thing for everybody to be like, I did this thing. I feel better about it.
Yeah.
That's automatically a win.
Yeah. Yeah, you like goals, I'm going to spend X amount of time doing the thing. That's what I've been trying to get into my head. I've not been doing that. I'm being honest.
ADHD goals. Spending specific things of time doing a thing rather than focusing on the final project. Yeah, turns out that's big advice for ADHD goal setting.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a thing.
Yeah, we should do that.
Maybe that's a thing we should do. It feels like a decent. I think we've got enough people in this space who would actually kind of like a little bit of a push to do something like that. Definitely use a motivation to pick up the guitar again. Hell yeah. Okay.
I should as well, actually.
I would.
We're all looking at the guitars.
You don't want to see how much dust.
I know, it's incredibly dusty. I have seen how dusty it is recently.
No, you haven't.
Oh, is it even dustier?
Yeah, you know what dust tends to do? Settle on dust. It's
actually no, I won't have seen it for a while, thinking about it.
No. It's real bad, yo. I mean, lately what I've been trying to do is I've started on a short story. And
Ooh, exciting.
Have I? I thought I told.
Nope.
Okay. I thought I might mention it.
You mentioned you've been doing writing, but you haven't mentioned you.
Okay. Yeah, this is due to a friend of mine. Who he might be listening to this at some point, because I know he tunes in on YouTube and catches these. You're
awesome.
Thank you, Adam. He like read the Voyage short stories and was like, hey, you should do more of this. And he is exactly the kind of
we've all been telling Sam this
pushy enabler who is like, you should do more of this. Yeah, I know, and I'm going to make you. And he's also a teacher, so you know. So like,
Sam's inner child is going, okay.
He knows how to push me, and like he's being very considerate about it. Just like a message on WhatsApp, just be like, "Hey, how's it going?" But yeah, the first month was very slow and unproductive, and I didn't get much done. But last month, literally, it was like, okay, well, look, I have an idea for a thing, and I can kind of roughly in my head see a very, very loose skeleton that gets it through from sort of the start to the finish. I don't know all the bits, but sure, if I start writing it, then I'll at least have something to show him at the end of the month. And he's also writing stuff and sending it to me, and we're both just kind of working and sort of looking over each other's stories and giving each other tips and feedback and stuff. And that's my thing that I've been trying to, because for me there's that sort of honeymoon period of like, okay, I've got an idea, and you start and immediately like write like 1,000 words, like, great, this is going great, I'm going to do this every night. The next night it's like, well, that's another 300, and then it's like, ooh, how much have I written? 1,300. I thought it would be more. And then you come back to it like 2 days later, and it's like, well, there's another 100, and I'm going to go back and edit some sentences, and it grinds to a halt. And then it's like, okay, now I have to drag this thing by the scruff of the neck over the finish line, and that line is a long way away. And so trying to make myself do more of that. Need to restring your violin and pick that back up again? Yeah. Paid for 8 years? Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's Max.
Not a small number of years.
Yeah, Max Loy, Shark Fists.
Because they picked it up again, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they'd had like lessons and all sorts of training and stuff many years ago, and then I think it was just over lockdown. They were like, well, might as well pick it up again, and sort of began playing again. And yeah like. And I know that it's, as someone who has heard, do it, from people who have motivation.
Motivation isn't something you have.
No, true. But have learned... have learned motivation.
I don't even know if that's the thing. I think motivation is a big myth.
No.
Because it's so hard to feel like you are motivated. What?
Just the emotes, yeah, because those are Max's
nice.
emotes that Amos has put into chat. Yes.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, perfect. Should have dropped those earlier. I completely forgot those existed, but yes, the perfect emotes for this.
Yeah. I think motivation is a concept that is used to beat people over the head too much.
Yeah, true.
I think like you feel motivated and driven to do things sometimes, but yeah, like I honestly think sometimes it's more of a, I think we should replace motivation with like asking yourself a question. And even if the question is just like, do I feel like doing this today?
Yeah.
No. Why not? And approaching it with curiosity and kindness rather than, I'm not motivated. Why am I not motivated? I should be motivated. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm just a useless person because I don't have motivation. How can I give myself motivation? I'm never motivated. Ah!
Yeah.
And it just goes on in this horrible spiral. And then, of course,
and then a guy in extremely bright lycra bursts through your door and starts making you do exercise.
Yeah, exactly. But
do I need to explain that for anybody?
No, but
Mr. Motivator,
yes.
the TV exercise guy from the 90s, Mr. Motivator. Yep. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Yeah.
You have been explained.
Yeah.
But what if the answer is always no? Well, then you ask why not. Then you, without any like why not, without any judgment, it's just like why. And if it's just because it's like, well, because today's been a very long day and I just need some kind of rest, then do that. Generally, I think we just need to be a lot kinder to ourselves and talk more kindly to ourselves rather than being like, well, if I haven't done this thing today, I'm a failure of a human being. Whereas actually it's just like, hey, guess what? You know that thing we were talking about, practice, being bad at things? You can also be bad at motivating yourself. And that's okay. Because again, it's like breaking down why you're not motivated and stuff. It's just like, okay, that's interesting. That's how my brain works.
I think that for me is like I need to learn to find, I don't even know if it's the joy, because like, you know, my
just interest.
Well, yeah, my default response to when I'm not doing something is I'm going to play a video game. And it's not, and that's the thing, it's not even like I get a great, every now and then I'll play a really good video game and I get excited about it, but oftentimes I kind of just do it to fill the space. And like, yeah, when I am like excited, when I have an idea for something and I'm like, oh, actually, yeah, no, here's some bits of a song maybe that I want to write, or here's like the opening paragraphs for a short story that I want to write. That's very exciting in that moment, and that then grabs my attention, and that is joy. But what I feel is like at the back of the brain there's something that's like it's just waiting to stop. It's like, okay, just get this done and then you can stop. And it's like I'm kind of looking for the point at which I can put it back down and go back to doing the other thing. And it's like, why, what I would like to kind of be able to train myself into is to have that, oh, I'm going to play a video game response, but instead of, oh, I'm going to go play a video game, it's, oh, I'm going to go create something. Like, that's how I would like to rewire that. So that automatic response for I'm not doing anything should be, okay, I'm going to open up a document and start writing. Or I'm going to plug in the keyboard and try and learn to make some music or something. Or I'm going to pick up the knitting and learn to knit. That's what I would like, but I don't have that, and I want to learn how to do that. And I guess that's broadly what I classify under motivation. It's the motivation to do that rather than this.
Yeah. I mean, I think also something that helps with that is just general structure. Because again, it's the whole kind of creativity tends to work best when you have some kind of constraints.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you have if you like, either you put it on yourself or often it's easier if somebody else puts like work, for example. I mean, obviously, as like Andy and Angelina both said, like having a full-time job, eating, paying the mortgage, stuff like that, time does get eaten up by those. And like actually having a structure whereby like you know that at this time you can do this thing and you stop it at this time, then you have that, like, I'm stopping at this point. Like, I'm stopping after 5 minutes or something, then it can, it can often sort of trick you into doing stuff. I don't know. Play a mindless game, watch TV, requires no energy. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is like energy is a big thing, and like if you don't have any on a day-to-day basis or whatever, then that's just a thing. And then, well, but that's, again, that's kind of your brain going, hey, you need to chill. And again, like, not having energy to do something isn't a failure. It's just, you know, your priorities are a thing. Life is difficult. Energy is sparing, and sometimes you just can't do the thing that you in theory want to do, just because. And that's, again, that's just part of being a human being. But I think often it's very easy to sort of fall into the trap of, like, well, not fall into the trap, but I think it's very easy to have the mentality of just like, well, I've got no energy for this, and then like you don't have energy the next day, and then you go into, well, I'll never have energy for it. I'm never gonna do that thing, and it's very easy to like beat yourself up about it, and it's just like, well, no, I don't have this today. Maybe I will tomorrow. Maybe I don't. Maybe I won't. And then like expect it, like if you don't set. Well, I suppose maybe expectations are a good thing to set, but if you don't set really high expectations and then beat yourself up when you don't meet them, then that's kind of easier. I don't know.
Yeah, fair.
And yeah, burnout's a real thing.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you're just depressed. Well, I hope not.
Yeah.
Because that would suck for you. But yeah, energy is yeah. The neurodivergent difficulty with switching gears also makes it hard to do the things. Yeah. Brains are weird. So this was our group therapy session.
Yeah, another one. See you all next month.
Yeah. We should probably wrap it up, actually.
Yeah, I guess we should.
I need to make a tea.
Oh, okay, yeah. Live life.
I know.
But yeah. Thank you, everybody, for indulging us in this, despite we have dropped 10,000 frames. That is apparently 1.1%. That's weird. Yeah, that's a lot of frames. I don't...
Yeah, sorry for stream quality.
Yeah, I might try... When I take this down, I might try lowering the bitrate and see if that helps. Again, hopefully it's just Twitch having a bad one. Who's going to pick all of them up? I'm going to have to run the vac around again. Yeah, I might do a bit of googling and see if like other people have been reporting. Oh, here we go again, down to the yellow, back into green. Okay. Yeah. See if other. Feel like it wasn't as bad as Twitch or something. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, actually, I know what I can do just to quickly check. 1 second. No, that's the wrong one. Nope. Yeah, I wonder whether... I'm just on the actual Chilliteratea dashboard, just wondering, on like the stream manager, whether it would tell me if there's any kind of... You know, it shows the bitrate has been jumping around all over the place. Yeah, I wonder if it is just... If I just need to lower the bitrate. Because I've got it at 6,000. I bet it's one that if I drop it to like 5,999, it'll be fine and rock solid, and it's because it's at 6,000 it's treating it as over and it's going wonky. I'll do that. I'll drop it by 1 after the stream and we'll see if it gets better next time. Maybe. Oh, we're at 292 followers. Yeah, I forgot, we're actually 8 followers off our 300 goal.
Yeah,
we're not doing anything for that, but you know, that's nice.
No, we're not.
We'll just make a bigger number, because numbers go up.
Yeah. We like being followed. On Twitch.
Yeah.
On Twitch.
In Minecraft, yeah. Exactly. But yeah, we're going to take off.
Yeah. Meow.
But you're going to be back.
I'm going to try and get better at plane noises.
Yes.
I'm going to be back on Thursday, not Wednesday, because I decided that I didn't want to not do a stream this week because I've got a lot of book to be getting through with Barchester Towers, but I'm not free on Wednesday evening. So I am going to stream on Thursday, everybody. That's Thursday.
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 The Larch.
The Larch. So, yeah. Be back on Thursday for more Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope, which is still a very amusing name. And then in theory, Sam should be back on Saturday with some short stories of some description, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know what I feel like reading because I've been picking ones out of these. These are what I've been reading from. Let's just hold those up.
I do love the eerie East Anglia. It's
Yeah,
just a funny title to me. It's like Norfolk is spooky.
I mean, yeah, have you been there? Yeah, because the last one was at the day of my death, which I really enjoyed. Yeah, I say I really enjoyed it. Now I'm just literally trying to remember the details because I'm looking at it and I was like, I have never read this story at all in my life.
Well, it was Guy telling woman that her seeing ghosts was.
Oh, yeah, that's it. They.
And then he was like, "Oh shit, they're real."
Yeah, that's it. He moved.
Norfolk, we all do.
They moved to a new house. The house is haunted, and his wife's cousin or whatever was with them, and she was like, "Oh yeah, it's Giga haunted my guy. Don't worry, I can talk to ghosts." And eventually, it's like, and what do they say? That you are going to die. And then he's like, suddenly I take this very seriously. And yeah, it from the start where I would expect it to go, it didn't. And I really enjoyed it. It was frankly quite moving and very sad. And it did get to me, and I enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, I haven't picked out what I will read next. I have a lot of short stories. I have been wondering whether because I've got a lot of Mr. James that I haven't read yet.
Oh, you should do some Mr. James.
Yeah, I might. The problem is, I find it very difficult to read. And I was having this conversation with Arian the other day that it's like some authors I find just like when reading them aloud it just flows, and that's specifically Edgar Allan Poe, Algernon Blackwood. A lot of the time I just find them, the way they write suits, like the way they structure sentences and stuff, it just suits me, and it almost becomes automatic. M.R. James uses the same language most of the time, except when he's writing in Latin or weird symbols in the middle of the text. Thanks, Guy. But it doesn't read the same way, and that about this has all been very interesting to encounter. And so yeah, that's where I'm hesitant to like, I'll read more Mr. James, because it's a challenge and I stumble a lot more. M.R. James writes the sort of sentences it's easy to get lost in, as you recall. Yeah, it's just again, it's like all the words are there, and they're not even in the wrong order. Oh, we're down in the red again, so it's failing fast. Like the words are all there, all in a sentence structure that conforms with the rules of the English language, and I cannot at any point guess what the next word is going to be after the one that I've just read, even though I'm looking at it, and it's bizarre.
We're on language again.
We're back. We are so back. And get it, gamers or whatever. And so yeah, like that.
Linguists.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I could have been a Mr. James.
There will be something on Saturday, possibly.
Hopefully.
We shall see.
No promises. Yeah. Goodbye.
English language is silly. That is conclusion.
It's
as usual.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty much always our conclusion here.
Yeah. But yeah, we are going to go. I don't think we're raiding anywhere, are we?
Nah.
Yeah. Peace.
See you on Thursday.
Go
the usual
watch.
Time though.
Yeah.
Just the wrong day.
The usual time, Wednesday at 9.
Yes.
Yeah, and go watch a cool stream. I think both of the
Yeah.
streams that I mentioned at the start are probably still live.
Yeah.
Games Done Quick are doing their Frost Fatales, sort of women and femme speedrunning
Desk
thing.
squeaking.
What?
My dog.
Oh, right. Ari at Home is doing some IRL improv, just jamming some beats for people to rap on. Patrick Richards is DJing. Yeah, that's probably where I'm going to go.
Plethora.
Yeah, so much
Cool
choice.
games.
Oh, no, sorry, I clicked and, yep, I forgot that if I disappeared us from the stream because the OBS window, the Discord window dropped into the background.
Great. Well,
we're going
soon,
now.
chat.
Bye.
Bye.
See you on the next one. See you on Thursday. Where is my... No. Okay, I was trying to move my mouse cursor over to the other screen and it was like bouncing back for some... Things are failing fast here.
Everything's breaking.
Yeah, we've nearly dropped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 streams. It's 1, 2, 3, 2, 0.
Nice.
Okay, we just need to drop another 35 streams.
No, we don't. We need to go.
25 streams. Anyway, 25. I can't do maths. Bye. We're going.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Goodbye. Bye.